Hello, Floyd. I'm Christian. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. As you can tell, I'm counting down the hours to get this college basketball season started. It's going to be fun being back home with all the three teams being really good this year. So I'll have to be watching them in my living room. It's also weird too. The games come on at 4 o'clock out here. It's like watching an IU game in the middle of the afternoon. It's kind of different. But I found out that I will be able to make it home for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So November 25th, I think I'll be able to make it to church before I fly back out here for a few weeks in between holidays. So definitely excited to get back and see everybody, and definitely miss Floyd's house quite a bit. So I always joke with one of my buddies, Ben Engel, that if he makes it to the Masters or U.S. Open, I said, I got a caddy for you, man. And I think that one of the things that, like me and Ben being together, is that I can always say a little something to get in his head and get him thinking right. And I remember he called me one time before, it was the night after one of his first rounds at a big tournament in Indiana. I was like, how'd it go today? He's like, I shot 75. I was like, 75? I mean, you're hitting the ball good. Like, you should have, I would have assumed you were going to play real well. He's like, yeah. He's like, I started out pretty well. I was 100 through my first 6, and then I was thinking it was going to be an easy 68 or 69, and then, I just made a couple bogeys and started going downhill from there. I was like, well, your problem was you played 6 holes at 1 under par, and you're playing, your game, you're playing well, and then on the 6th hole, you thought to yourself 68 or 69. So now basically, he has gotten to the point where he's thinking more about the end result. You're consuming yourself with what it's going to result in, as opposed to the process, which is the reason that you're playing well in the first place. I was like, once you have that number in your mind, if you have one bad hole, even though it's just one bad hole, you're going to start thinking, okay, now I'm one further away from 68 or 69, which is what I programmed is going to be an acceptable round. And then now you're upset, and it just kind of spirals from there. I was like, think about, when we were on our run in high school, like, what are some of the things you remember the most? He's like, well, I remember chipping in on 15 junior year at state when everybody was around there, and all the fans from Floyd's were going crazy. And I remember making a putt to win sectionals on 18. And I was like, the things that you don't remember, and I feel like this is going to be the case for a lot of people, athletes or whatnot, is that when you have a great achievement or you get to something that you've been working really hard for, the things that you don't remember about that are holding up a trophy or putting it on your wall or having somebody come up and tell you nice job, congratulations. The things that you remember are going to be the things that were part of the process, whether it was a key shot or a success here or you overcame this to become a better person or a better player. And those are the things that make the journey enjoyable. So I'm reading this daily devotion book, and one of the things they were talking about in your walk with God is to basically give yourself fully to the adventure of each day. So essentially, like when I think about my daily life, I mean, there's things in my past that have been great times that I think about a lot, and there's things in the future, some things that I'm like very excited about that I know are going to be great times in my life, and also inevitable hardships of just that's how it happens when you go through this life. You're going to face a lot of tough times. So there's things in the future, in the past, that I have good thoughts and bad thoughts about. But ultimately, I have to just release all of that and focus on how I can walk with God through today and essentially make the most out of today. One thing it says, do not give in to fear and worry. So when we start thinking too much in the future and we start holding on to things too much in the past, is that it fills us with worry. That's not a way that you want to live your life. You want to live an abundant life through God and basically get rid of fear and worry. That's how you live happy. That's how you live, with a zest for life and a zest for glorifying God. And one of the parts right here in the Bible that I think correlates this pretty well is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. It says, let us keep looking to Jesus. He is the author of faith. He also makes it perfect. He made no attention to the shame on the cross. He suffered there because of the joy he was looking forward to. There he sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. It's basically, showing that Jesus has shown how unselfish he is to allow us the glory of walking in his path and having the opportunity for eternal life. And if we can just trust in him, that instead of anticipating problems in the future or worrying about things that could arise, instead just trusting in God to get to the point where when you face those times, you're going to be able to get through them. So there's no reason to panic and worry about them and let that bog you down today. So that's how we become a abundant living for God and live day by day instead of thinking too much in the future or resting on too much of what's happened in the past. And that is how you begin to live an abundant life. And really, the most important moment is right now. So if you think of it that way, sometimes mundane things like standing in line at a fast food restaurant, there's somebody in front of you. And it's like that might not seem like a big event, but essentially that's the most important time that you have in your life. So that's an opportunity for you to be courteous to whoever is around you, or for you to show God's love and compassion to anybody around you, so that when you're around them, they feel a very loving presence. And that is how people see and understand God, is when they see loving people and caring people. And that gives us faith that if this person can really live an abundant life and a very carefree and loving life, then there is a possibility to have that great life and eventually a great eternal life when we live our life in faith. So I just really think that the best way to approach your life is to just get everything out of today and walk with God through today and put an abundant value in what you can get done in today. And if you continue to stack up great days of things where you overcame things and you learned things, then whenever you get down the line, you're going to eventually reach where you want to be, because you've lived all of these, really great days where you try to maximize your potential every day. And that is ultimately, how you can reach your God-given potential, is if you invest yourself in trying to glorify Him each day and enjoy the walk and get better through it. So I just can't tell you how excited I am to get home to see everybody. It's going to mean a lot to me to be back in Floyd's Knobs. It's been a great time out here so far. Just have no complaints and feel very blessed to live the life that I do. So thank you guys, love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.